Morning, 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 morning to everyone. All happy to have you here. Um, Morning. Just hit one in the box if you're ready to go. All right. So I've been doing lives now for several weeks and months, and I'm going to start to change slightly and just do meditations. So we're going to do some fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional meditations. For those of you that are interested in higher sixth and seventh dimensional meditation, absolutely. I'm working on that myself. I'm working on anchoring in the sixth dimension, and I can explain all of that to you. The fourth dimension, well, let me first talk about the third dimension. We are deeply, deeply connected and anchored into the third dimension. And that's really the first leap is to get yourself out of third dimensional anchoring and start to understand the fourth dimension as a different plane of understanding, as a higher understanding. Almost everything that I'm seeing now, people are anchored in that third dimensional frame of reference. And the minute you get into the fourth dimension, you have an opportunity to anchor yourself at a higher frame of reference, a fourth dimensional frame of reference. So the challenge is to stay in that frame of reference and not to just experience the fourth dimension. We'll do a fourth dimensional meditation in a minute. Not to just experience the fourth meditation, but to bring those ideas back with you into the third dimension and weave some of these higher dimensional understandings into your life. So for those of you that are looking at fifth dimensional ascension, and all of us should be looking at how we're going to be ascending into the fifth dimension, these meditations are going to be really powerful. So let's just start with a change of perspective. Now, the fourth dimension is nothing more than a mindset shift. So we're going to make that mindset shift now. Those of you who are here now are going to appreciate the rest of the live because we're going to go from the fourth into the fifth. And for those of you that are interested, we can start looking at the sixth dimension and the seventh dimension if you want to. But let's look at the fourth dimension. I want you to imagine that you're walking down a city street. There's lots of people around you. There's people going in the same direction with you. There's people coming in the opposite direction, just a beehive of activity, and you're in it. You're walking down a city street. And I want you to see that there is a hot air balloon, a gondola for a hot air balloon right there parked on the curb. You open the gondola, you step into the hot air balloon, and you close the door. And the hot air balloon starts to rise, rise, rise. And you look down and you see all the people in the third dimension. They're walking back and forth. They're busy. They're going a million miles an hour. Where are those people going? Where are they going? That's the third dimension. You were just in that rush of people. Where are you going? Where are you going now? I want you to rise up. And as you rise higher, I want you to see the third dimension just going back and forth. Everybody's racing to somewhere, but where are they actually going? And as you rise in consciousness, you start to reach the clouds. The balloon now is in the clouds. The clouds surround you. It's gray, it's gloomy, little moist, wet in the clouds. And as you continue to rise, you rise above the clouds. And when you look down, you see the top of the clouds. And all around you, you see blue sky. You see the sun, the bright sun overhead. That's the fifth dimension. That's the dimension of light that's over your head. But in the fourth dimension, all blue sky, no obstructions, no limitations. Everything around you is peaceful. That's the fourth dimension. You look down into the, the third dimension and you realize that people are rushing. They're going full speed ahead. They don't really know where they're going. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where I was going when I was busy in that third dimension, wrapped up into all the systems and daily activities. Where are we going? But in the fourth dimension, you realize that you can see yourself And this is the most important thing about the fourth dimension. You are above time. From the fourth dimension, you see how time operates in longer rhythms and cycles. In the third dimension, we don't have any perspective of time. The world is just coming at us full speed ahead. Every minute is different. Every minute is out of balance. Uh-oh, now this is happening. That's happening. Got to do this. Got to do that. We have no perception of time. In the fourth dimension, you realize that the universe operates in longer rhythms and cycles. You are above time. And now in the fourth dimension, you can start to sprinkle some seeds that will take root and grow over time. See, in the fourth dimension, you can use time as your ally. You can start to work with the cycle of time. You can start to work with the rhythm of the universe instead of always working against it. In the fourth dimension, you are above time and you can see how the seeds you plant now in the fourth dimension, the new habits that you create, the acts of generosity, the kind words, all the things that you're doing to uplift yourself and raise your inner vibration, all of those things are now working with the rhythm of time. You don't demand immediate results. You don't expect immediate results. You plant the seeds of meditation, habits, health, all of that. You plant the seeds and let them grow with the rhythm of time. See, you don't plant an acorn and sit there and say, how come you're not growing? You plant the acorn. It may take 2 or 3 months for the acorn to even sprout its head above the soil. It may take a year before the acorn is only 6 inches high. That's the way the universe works. It doesn't it doesn't operate the way you think it does in instantaneous time like that. The universe operates in longer rhythms and cycles. And at a higher understanding, at a fourth dimensional understanding, you can start to work with the rhythm of time. Plant those seeds, do the habits. And when you do your new habits of meditation and deep breathing and all the things that you're changing, all the new habits and the new positive things that you're sprinkling into your own three-dimensional life, you realize you don't demand results. You just keep doing the work, repeating the work, doing your light consciousness meditation every morning, every night, deep breathing during the day, doing things that are kind, acts of generosity, helping other people, pushing other people up, compassionate acts. All of you're just doing them without any expectation of results. That's the secret of time. See, when you do these things, acts of generosity, words of kindness, lifting other people up, helping other people in their career, giving people a launch pad, deep breathing, making yourself healthy, raising your inner vibration, all of these positive acts, listen carefully, are activating unseen forces that you're not aware of, forces of mind, forces of source, and they're planting seeds. They're activating unseen forces that are going to respond back to you whenever they respond back to you, in their own time, in their own way. It's very important to understand that you can't make this. As soon as you set an expectation, I'm going to exercise today and tomorrow I'm going to feel healthy. As soon as you set that expectation, you set up a resistance to the natural rhythms of time. You have to learn to surrender to the longer rhythms of time, to the longer rhythms of mind. And there's a book in the link tree in my profile called The Cycle of Mind, where we talk about how to plant seeds. In this case, we're talking about new internal values like generosity and kindness and thoughtfulness. Plant these seeds inside yourself now and watch them grow and watch without any expectation how they start to come back to you. Little bits at first, but if you notice them, you're making progress. Little bits of kindness, little bits of the universe bringing back abundance to you. It didn't just happen. You created it with your acts of kindness, your acts of generosity, your thoughtful acts, your generous things that you're doing, the health things that you're doing. All of these things come back to you in rhythms and cycles. And you're planting seeds, not expecting results, but just knowing that you're planting seeds and allowing the universe to take your actions, to take your light, and to do whatever the universe needs to do with that light and bring you back the abundance whenever it is. So if you're enjoying this, please hit the like button. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes in the first couple of minutes here of the live. Thank you all for being here. My goal with this channel is just to create a wavelength, a steady wavelength of abundance, happiness, inner peace, inner development. And by the way, share the live. Thank you for those of you who shared. I'm just starting, so I'll be on for about another hour, hour and a half. So thank you. Thank you, Mango. You wake up in the morning wondering how to be a jerk. Must be interesting to be you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate it. We got to 1,000. That was fast. Appreciate you guys all doing that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. One of the things I want to share with you about this journey to fourth dimension, to fifth dimension, um, and sixth dimension and beyond. One of the things about that is you have to approach it systematically. You can't be just a dabbler. Thank you for that. You can't just be a dabbler. Oh, I meditated this morning. You've got to meditate every morning. You've got to meditate every night. Why do you need that? Because you're establishing rhythms. You're, again, activating unseen forces. You meditate this morning, you meditate again tonight, meditate this morning, meditate again tonight. Again, again, watch what's happening. You're creating a rhythm, a pattern, and the universe will start to recognize that. Mind, source will start to recognize these patterns that you're creating. Again, you're activating unseen forces, and then abundance will come back to you. The waves of abundance will come back to you, barely perceptible at first. But if you keep activating these rhythms of deep breathing, stretching, meditating, acts of kindness and generosity. You keep creating those rhythms, you're activating these, and all of a sudden things will start to come back to you. If you do them expecting a result, if you're generous with someone expecting something to come back to you, oh, because if you're generous, things will come. If you do it with that expectation, you're setting up a resistance to the way things operate in natural rhythm. So RG, I am working on anchoring myself in the sixth dimension. Um, and that is, personal work, and all of us are on our own personal journey. I could teach anybody how to get to the sixth and the seventh dimension. But first, you need to establish balance in your life. And when I say balance, I mean a morning routine and an evening routine, a morning routine and an evening routine. Why is it so important to anchor yourself in the morning? Because if you just do an evening routine, then when you wake up, you're untethered and the day is going to be hectic. It's going to start out hectic. It's going to stay like that. And then at night, I'm bringing myself back to balance. But then the next morning, everything's out of balance. So you have to have a morning routine to start yourself from balance. And of course, the day is going to get hectic, but then you have that evening routine to bring yourself back to balance. So everyone who I'm working with, through coaching through this ascension, the first thing I tell them, a morning routine and an evening routine. If you're not doing a morning routine and an evening routine, you're really not on any spiritual path because you're just untethered. You have to anchor yourself in the morning and anchor yourself every night. Now, what do you do every morning and every night? Three things. Keep your morning routine very, very simple. Keep your evening routine very, very simple. Only three things you need to do. Number one, you want to take 3 deep breaths every morning and 3 deep breaths every night. We breathe like this. It's hard to even believe that our body can live on this tiny amount of air. There are two things in the air outside us that our body needs. Number one is oxygen, and number two is the chi or the prana. I call it vital life force. You need these two things. So what you want to do in deep breathing is you want to take all the the prana and the chana, the prana and the chi that's out there in the air, all the oxygen, and get it inside you. That's where it belongs. It belongs inside you because every cell in your body is starving. You're suffocating yourself. And when you deep see when you breathe this bare minimum, and don't get me wrong, you can breathe this bare minimum for 100 years. People that live to 100 years, they never did deep breathing in their life. So you can live 100 years like this. But what happens is your cells are getting the bare minimum of oxygen and the bare minimum of the prana or the chi or the life force, the bare minimum. And so what the cells do is they've learned to operate at a lower vibratory rate, the lowest possible vibratory rate. When you become a deep breather, your cells are like, whoa, heck yeah. They love that oxygen. They love that chi and they start to vibrate. Now, they don't believe you. Again, the universe operates in longer rhythms and cycles. So the first time you do deep breathing, they don't believe that you're going to keep this up. So they don't really activate themselves. But when you're a deep breather for several days in a row, every morning and every night, it doesn't really take much more than that. You can't take every breath during the day as a deep breath, but if you do morning and night, do some deep breathing during the day and then again at night, what happens is your cells say, heck yeah, I love that extra oxygen. I love that extra life force, that energy. Heck yeah, keep doing that. And what happens is over a period of weeks, sooner for some of you, you'll actually feel your cells begin to vibrate at a higher rate. You'll be operating at a higher rate of efficiency. Your entire body will become more energetic. That's how you raise your inner vibration. If you have any interest in fifth dimensional ascension and beyond, if you have any interest in that, you have to raise your inner vibration. You have to learn how to hold more energy in your body, operate more efficiently. You have to learn how to anchor more light in your body. And the only way to do that is to wake your cells up, wake your body up by deep breathing. Um, for some reason, Monet, they blocked that comment. I don't know why. So I'm talking about, for those of you that have just come in, the importance of doing a morning routine and an evening routine, anchoring yourself in balance first thing in the morning and anchoring yourself in balance again at night. You do three deep breaths. We can let's do let me first say the three things. You do three things every morning, three things every night. Morning routine, evening routine. Number 1 is take three deep breaths. Every morning and every night, we'll do some deep breathing for those of you that haven't done your deep breathing yet today. Number 2 is in your morning and evening routine, you do some stretching, energy activation, massage yourself, get that energy flowing, get your blood flowing every morning, every night, stretch your spine, stretch your shoulders, your neck, roll your head, get your hips moving, get your hip joints moving. Every morning, you want to wake yourself up. You should feel invigorated every single morning. You shouldn't wake up, get out of bed in the morning, brush your teeth, and then go to work because you're not waking your body up. You're not deep breathing. You have to do things for your own health. So you're going to do deep breathing every morning, stretching every morning, or self massage, energy circulation. And then the third thing you do every morning is you do a meditation. We'll talk about that as well. There you go. Uh, in the morning, you're busy. So a 10-minute meditation is fine. A 7-minute meditation is fine. Even a 5-minute meditation is okay. And I'll show you a very simple, the simplest meditation. And then we'll do a 4D, 5D. Maybe if I feel like it, we'll do 60, 70 meditation as well. But start out with simple meditations every morning and every night. It's not the quality of your meditation. It's like every meditation isn't going to be, oh my God, a 10th dimensional experience. The doors of the universe have opened up to me. Those are great meditations when that happens, but that doesn't happen every time. Sometimes you're tapping your foot. You got to respond to an email. You're thinking about stuff. Don't worry about it. Don't be hard on yourself. Just meditate, 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 morning, night, morning, night, morning, night, morning, night. It's like riding a bicycle. Eventually, there you go. Eventually, you'll become a meditator. You'll become a deep breather. So again, three things in your morning routine: deep breathing, stretching and energy massage, and meditation, and three things every night: deep breathing, stretching and energy massage, and meditation every night. Now, at night, your meditation could be longer. All right. So let's do number 1. Let's do deep breathing. All right. By the way, how many chakras do you have? There are different systems. So Taoists, Chinese believe they call them dantians. They don't call them chakras. Same concept, different word for it. They call them dantians. They think you have three. Some people say five. Some people say seven. Some people say 12. I say that you have seven spinal chakras. Seven spinal chakras. There's an eighth chakra called the light chakra that's over your head, and there's another chakra at the very top of your spine, just over the apex, the C1 vertebrae. That's called the mouth of God chakra or the zeal chakra. So those are the nine chakras that I concern myself with, but there are seven in your spinal system, in your central channel. So that just answers that question. Let's do deep breathing, okay? Three deep breaths. I'm going to show you how to do deep breathing, and you should be a deep breather. This is not something you do today. This is something you do every day for the rest of your life. This is going to make you healthier for the rest of your life, going to increase your efficiency rate, your inner vibratory rate. Here we go. All right. So the first part of the deep breath is through your diaphragm and your nose. You don't breathe in through your nose, you breathe in through your diaphragm by expanding and relaxing your diaphragm. Take that first half of the breath in through your nose. The second half of the breath is through your mouth. And in the second half of your deep breath, that's when you pull your ribs apart. You expand your lungs as much as possible, get as much air as possible into your lungs, hold it at the top for about 3 or 4 heartbeats, and then relax your breath. And as you relax your breath, you want to push your ribs and your diaphragm together and exhale completely. So it's a two-part breath. First half through the nose, second half through the mouth. Pull your ribs apart, relax your back muscles, let every ounce of air. It's really simple. Don't overcomplicate it. 3 deep breaths every morning, 3 deep breaths every night. You'll get better at it. You'll feel it more in your diaphragm. You'll feel how your lungs expand. You want to, instead of taking this much breath every breath, you want to take this much breath every breath. You want to suck in from the outside, suck in the oxygen, the life force, the chi, the prana that's out there, and get it inside you. Get that prana into every single cell in your body. That's what you want to do. Every morning, don't overcomplicate it. 3 deep breaths, 3 deep breaths every night. And here's what's going to happen. If you do this for several days in a row, you're going to start to get a little bit of muscle memory in your rib muscles. They're called your intercostal muscles. And you're going to start to breathe a little bit more by expanding your chest. Now, you'll always breathe by expanding. Just think about it. If you expand your diaphragm now, very relaxed, when your diaphragm is expanding, you can actually feel the bottom rib muscles start to expand. You want to go with that and pull the rib muscles apart. And you start to get some muscle memory in your breathing apparatus. And that's how you know you're making progress. Again, you don't want to be a deep breather today. You want to be a deep breather for the rest of your life. This is a lifelong habit. You got to stop breathing like this and start breathing like this, because every day you're going to breathe like this for a few times. So eventually, instead of breathing like this as your habit, you're going to start to breathe a little bit more and a little bit more. So you're breathing deep breaths morning and night to get into the habit. And what you really want to do is get into a daily, every breath habit of just breathing a little bit more, just expanding just a little bit more with every breath. Next time you're online at the bank or waiting at a red light, just Deep breathe. It's the single best thing you can do for yourself. By the way, if you're a parent, the single greatest gift you can give to your child is to make them deep breathers for the rest of their lives so they will find health. The more chi and prana that's circulating through your body, the healthier you're going to be. The second habit, so the first habit every morning and every night is deep breathing, 3 deep breaths, 3 deep breaths. The second habit every morning, every night is stretching, particularly the spine, rotating the neck, the shoulders, shrugging the shoulders, um, stretching, doing what's called the spinal stretch. I have some videos on that on YouTube. The spinal stretch. Stretch all the tendons and the ligaments in your spine. Work on your posture every morning. You want to stretch, stretch, stretch. Why? To get the nerve energy flowing, to get the blood flowing through your joints, to get the chi and the prana, the oxygen into every cell in your body. So not only deep breathing, but also stretching. You also want to activate your energy channels. Massage your face every morning, your scalp. I got all this equipment on my head, including my glasses, but you want to massage every morning. Why? To get that energy flowing, man. You got to pull that oxygen and chi and prana in from the outside and get it flowing in your system. You have to get your energy flowing. And the third daily habit, morning and night, is meditation. I'm going to show you the simplest meditation. This is even for people who never meditated before. I want you to change the way you think about meditation. I'm going to give you a suggestion that's worked for me. Replace the word meditation, especially for people who struggle with it or have failed at it in the past. See, meditation isn't a complex thing. It's a natural way of being. It's not a skill or an activity. Meditation is an experience. So instead of the word meditation, say, I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes, it's putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Change the word meditation and replace it with the word balance. I'm going to balance for 5 minutes. And I want you to just close your eyes. We're going to do a meditation. It's not going to be for 5 minutes. We'll just do it for a minute or two. But this is called a keyword or a focus meditation. You're going to pick one word. You're going to put this word above your head. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. You might pick the word patience. You might pick the word balance. You might pick the word inner peace. You might pick the word heart-centered. You might pick the word Jesus. You might pick anything. Pick a word because words have energy, right? And that energy, so for example, the word balance, it's not just a word, it represents millions of things energetically. It represents a million things. So we're going to meditate on the word balance or whatever word you choose. And as you just relax your breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. Breathe in and out through your nose if you can. And just picture the word balance over your head. Maybe you see yourself with your eyes closed. Maybe you see another version of yourself with the word balance over that person's head, or maybe you see it over your own head. But use your inner sight to see yourself and pick the word balance and just look at it. And I want you to lower the word balance into your being, into your body. And I want you to let that word just resonate, not just the word, but everything that it means, all the millions of things that it means to be balanced. And I want you to let that word balance resonate, roll around, bounce around inside your body, inside your being, and feel that word descending into your being. And just meditate on the word balance. Just feel it kinesthetically, feel it vibrationally. Just let that word vibrate. Let its wavelength, just let it bounce around in you. Let it become in your cells. Let it kind of integrate into your being. effortless, no intense breathing. This is not a breathing exercise. This is just soaking that word balance into every cell in your body, or whatever word you chose: patience, inner peace, heart centered, surrender, acceptance, any word you choose. Just let it soak in. Let's do another word: surrender. See that word above you and all that it means. It carries with it a million meanings, all this energy that it carries with it. And just allow the word surrender to enter into your being. Let it enter into your cells, into your muscles, into your bones, and surrender. That is the simplest meditation you can do. And you need to meditate every morning and every night. You need an anchor. You need to balance yourself every morning by deep breathing, stretching, an energy massage, and a meditation every morning. Even just 5 minutes of thinking of the word balance or surrender or peace or anything you want. Just that's the meditation. Do those three things every morning and do them again every night. Deep breathing, stretching and energy massage, and meditation. Now, in the evening, you should have more time to meditate, should be a little bit more relaxed. So instead of only doing a 5 or a 7 minute meditation, maybe you can meditate for 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever. If you can do more, that's great too. But here's the thing about meditation, because it's taught all wrong. The first thing they teach you is to quiet your mind. What a dumbass way to teach somebody how to meditate. If you've never meditated before, that would be like me trying to teach you how to hit a baseball by throwing you a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. How come you can't hit it? Why can't you quiet your mind? It's so simple. It's not. Quieting your mind is an advanced technique. Don't worry about quieting your mind. Give your mind a task to focus on. That's the way you meditate. The people that are sitting quietly for 45 minutes meditating, they're not thinking about nothing. They're running through a sequence of thoughts, a sequence of exercises. That's what they're doing inside their head. Now, maybe one out of a million is truly thinking of nothing and clearing their mind, but why would you want to take the most powerful force in the universe, put it in a box and bury it 6 feet under the ground? That's the mind is what creates change. Use the mind. Give your mind something to think about. Balance, surrender. Give it something to work on. Give it something to think about. Your mind is way too powerful for you to be just ignoring it. Use it as an ally. So that's it. If you're on a spiritual path, you should be doing three things every morning, your morning routine, and three things every night, your evening routine: deep breathing, stretching and energy massage, and meditation. And again at night, deep breathing, stretching, and meditation. If you don't have a morning routine and an evening routine, you can't say that you're on a spiritual path because you're not anchoring yourself. You have to anchor yourself every morning and anchor yourself again in balance every night. Why? Because the middle of the day is crazy. It's three-dimensional. It's just going all over. You're not in control of what's happening, right? But in the morning and the evening, you can nail yourself down, like tether yourself to balance and tether yourself to balance again. And what happens again, when you become a deep breather, you get muscle memory. Your ribs start to deep breathe. You start to become a deep breather. It's the same thing. Once you do this for a few weeks, now watch what happens. Your subconscious is now your ally. You want to go to sleep, but your subconscious says, no, no, no. You can't go to sleep without doing your evening meditation. You can't go to sleep without your deep breathing. You can't go to sleep without cultivating your energy. Now we're talking. Now your subconscious is in the habit. So morning, night, morning routine, evening routine, morning routine, evening routine, morning routine, evening routine. If you skip your morning routine, you already know if you skip your morning routine, the day is going to be unanchored. You're going to feel strange the whole day. And maybe you're going to skip your evening routine. Now you're just out of control morning, noon, and night. If you don't have a morning and an evening routine, so you have to approach spiritual growth, you have to approach fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh dimensional ascension systematically. It doesn't just happen. You have to systematically change the person that you are today into an ascended version of yourself. This person here is not ascending. This is a three-dimensional person. And you have to start to surrender, release all of these three-dimensional bonds so that you become an ascended person. And it doesn't happen like that. It's a little, ooh, I released a little bit today. Ooh, I released a little bit more. Ooh, I released a little bit more. Ooh, I had a bad day. I went backwards. Ooh, I had another bad day. But that's okay. I'm going to have a good day tomorrow, a better day. And eventually you're able to release more and more of the third dimension that is anchoring you down. And the more you release every day, the more you become that ascended version. You don't become the ascended version of yourself by putting a post-it on the mirror. I am a fifth dimensional being. I am a being of light. No, you have to do the work. And the work is every day because the universe operates in much longer rhythms and cycles. You have to start working with universal rhythms, not demanding results today, because then you set up resistance. I want to meditate today. I want to be an I want to be a fifth dimensional being today. I've never meditated before, but I want to be a fifth dimensional being. Dude, you're a third dimensional being. So you've got to do the work every morning and every night, a little bit every morning, a little bit every, just a little bit, get in these habits so that you can start to release some of because eventually when you get to the seventh dimension, it's not even a question of the third dimension anymore. Everything has been released. The seventh dimension has nothing to do with the third dimension. So you can't be holding on to anything to fully experience the seventh. The fifth dimension, you can experience it, but you'll quickly lose it and go back into 3D unless you have. The goal isn't just to experience the fifth dimension. The goal is to take what you learn and bring it back and weave it into your third dimensional life, like sewing it in. So the threads of your third dimensional life start to become more ascended. So when you drop down, back when you lose your fifth dimensional awareness, you'll drop down. Instead of dropping to 3.0, maybe you're at 3.1 or 3.3 or 3.6. So you want to, it's not where how high you ascend, it's how where you're anchoring yourself. And the goal for the first goal should be to anchor yourself in the fourth dimension, and then eventually to anchor yourself in the sixth dimension. Now, the fourth dimension, we'll do a fourth and fifth dimensional meditation now over the next minute or two. And then the goal is not just to have the experience, the goal is to bring that experience back with you. So become more and more like a fourth dimensional being, more and more like a fifth dimensional being, because your consciousness is like an elevator. You can press whatever button you want. You can go up and down between dimensions if you want to. The fourth dimension, let's do the fourth dimension meditation right now for those of you that want to do it. It's nothing more than a perspective shift. There's nothing to the fourth dimension more than a perspective shift. It's an incredible experience, but anybody can have it simply by doing this meditation and shifting your perspective. So let's shift our perspective to fourth dimensional understanding. And I'll explain some things about the fourth dimension. And then one of the great things about the fourth dimension is that you also, in addition to everything else I'm going to explain, you can also use the fourth dimension as a launch point to begin to experience fifth dimension. So let's go to the fourth dimension. I'll do the full meditation for those of you that are here. And for those of you that are here, hit the number one if you're going to be here for the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and we'll actually go through the fourth and fifth dimension. I just want to see how many people are locked into this. Couple more. Let me see. Let me see if that there's actually people here. Thank you. Because it's hard. I'm just talking to my phone and I have no idea. All right. Beautiful. Thank you all. Thank you. More, more, more. I love it. All right. Let's do the fourth dimension and fifth dimensional meditation. Here we go. Now, when we get to the fourth dimension, I'm going to pause there and explain how to operate in the fourth dimension or what you can learn about yourself in the fourth dimension. All right. Here we go. I want you to imagine that we're all on an airplane. We're boarding the airplane. We see each other. We say hi to each other. It's raining outside, so we see the raindrops on the windows. You've got a window seat, so you can look outside. You see the other planes, the runways, all that. Now we start to get to the runway, boom, and we're taking off. And as we rise, we can look down, we can see the third dimension, we can see all the people running around, we see the cars on the highway going full speed ahead. Eventually, the plane goes into the clouds, becomes dark and gloomy. You see the mist from the clouds on the windows. And soon enough, the airplane pops over the clouds and now is above the clouds. And what are some things you notice here? You notice blue sky in all directions. There are no limitations. All directions are open, 360 degrees. You notice the bright sun above the airplane. That's the fifth dimension, the dimension of light. We'll get to that in a minute. But in the fourth dimension, I want you to look down, and what you see is the top of the clouds, right? You're above the clouds. What you see is the top of the clouds. Those clouds represent mind. In the fourth dimension, you're above mind. In the third dimension, you are a, let's call it slave to subconscious. You're just doing things subconsciously without thinking. 90% of what we do every day is subconscious without thinking. And you look down on the people down there, they're racing back and forth like a bunch of ants. Where are they going? Why are they going so fast? Trust me, they have no idea where they're going. In the fourth dimension, this is your opportunity to peacefully calm yourself. Realize that you're now thinking the fourth dimension is frictionless. Has no relationship to the third dimension. Whatever's happening in the third dimension has nothing to do with your experience in the fourth dimension. I want you to look down on yourself. You're sitting in a chair, your eyes are closed. You're going through this mental experience. I want you to look down on yourself and notice one really important thing. Your body isn't moving. That's important because that means your body has no mind of its own. It's not an independent entity fighting against you. It's just sitting there waiting for you to tell it what to do. Your body has no mind of its own. And what you realize is that you are an avatar. And how has this avatar been programmed? It's been programmed by three-dimensional parents who did the best they could, I guess, school system that did the best they could, society that did the best they could, your religion that did the best they could, all three-dimensional programming to program you as an avatar running around. You don't even know what you're doing. In the fourth dimension, you're an avatar and you can program that avatar to do whatever you want the avatar to do. See, you're above mind in the fourth dimension. And you can now program. I can look at that avatar and say, I want to teach you how to play the guitar. And the fourth dimensional you can look down and teach the three-dimensional you how to play the guitar. So I put the idea in that little avatar's head, and the avatar happily goes to YouTube and looks up how to play guitar for beginners. And the avatar starts looking at the YouTube videos and starts playing the guitar. Did exactly what you told it to do. And if you don't tell your avatar what to do from the fourth dimension, it'll just keep going around doing whatever it was programmed to do when you were 3 and 4 years old. Your subconscious programming. So what you have to do is change the programming of your avatar from the fourth dimension. And there are two tools. The first is your thought matrix, and that comes from this book, The Cycle of Mind. I think that's reversed, but you can read it, The Cycle of Mind. Link is in the profile. That's how you're going to program your moral character. That's how you're going to program what you really stand for, the values and principles that you stand for: kindness, generosity, compassion, thoughtfulness, health, self-reliance, lifting other people up, your life purpose. You can't do these things in the third dimension because it's all three-dimensional. See, in the well, I'll talk about third dimension in a minute. You get it? From the fourth dimension is where you program your values and your principles. You teach that avatar how you want to live. Don't let that avatar do what it wants to do. You're going to now start telling that avatar what to do. And the thought matrix from that book is the programming tool that you're going to use. Now, the second thing you notice about the fourth dimension is that you are above time. Excuse me. You start to see how the universe operates in much longer rhythms and cycles of time, right? You don't plant an acorn today and how get upset that it doesn't grow tomorrow. It may take 2 months before the acorn is even 3 inches, before it sprouts and is 3 inches above the ground. It may take 3 years before it's a foot tall. But I know it's going to be 100 feet tall and it's going to have a 500,000 leaves and pour out infinite number of acorns in 20, 30 years. The universe operates in rhythms and cycles. And your job in the fourth dimension is to plant seeds to work with the rhythm of the universe, to work with the power of time, to use the power of time to your advantage. You can't break the laws of the universe, so why not work with them? Put yourself in the flow of time. Put yourself in. And how do you do that? The morning routine and the evening routine, like we were talking about earlier. You're going to program that avatar to do a morning routine and an evening routine. And once you program that avatar for a couple of weeks, the avatar takes over and starts doing it by itself without you thinking. So you learn that you're above time and you can see how time operates. This is important. When you look down on yourself, you can actually see yourself over time. You see what's called your life stream. Go back, look down on your life, and look all the way to the left to where your life began. Of course, if you're a Tibetan Buddhist, maybe you want to go 1,000 lifetimes back. But look down to the time you were born, and you can see how every little thing that ever happened to you is like a thread that has gone to build. I look at it like a cable. In the fourth dimension, I look at my life stream like it's a cable. And I see how millions of different inputs, millions of threads have gone to make my life the way it is. And I see right now from the fourth dimension looking down, I see my life stream comes to the now moment. I can look back and I can see exactly how I got here. And I can see this. If I don't change anything about that avatar, my life stream is just going to continue on exactly the same as it is now. Nothing will change. But I also see that if I plant new seeds, I can slowly change the trajectory of my life into higher realities, higher timelines, whatever word you want to use. I can change the trajectory of my life stream over time. I can become healthier. I can become more accepting, more surrendering, more thoughtful, more generous, more healthy, more happy. I can be more purposeful. I can change by planting seeds every day from the fourth dimension. I can start to change the trajectory of my life stream. I can't snap my fingers and become healthier. I can't snap my fingers and become a more relaxed, generous person. I have to work at it every day and make this change. Oops, had a bad day. Ooh, another bad day. But that's okay. I'm going to have a good day tomorrow and another good day and another good day and another good day and another good day. You plant the seeds from the fourth dimension. And remember, your avatar, your body, your physical being has no agenda. It will do whatever you program it to do. And in absence of your programming, which most people don't do, then it's just going to take on the perceptions of the third dimensional world. Remember I talked about your life stream like a cable? The third dimension, you're inside that cable. So imagine you're inside and you're just constantly seeing present moment. Everything's coming at you. Life is coming at you. You have no perspective in the third dimension. Life is coming at you and you're trying to anchor or balance or grab onto something, but the things you're grabbing onto in the third dimension are out of balance themselves. Because there's no balance in the third dimension. Everything's constantly changing. Everything is vibratory. It's always moving and changing. So whatever you think you're holding on to is taking you for an imbalanced ride. You can't balance yourself in the third dimension from the third dimension. But when you simply rise to the fourth dimension, you look down and you say, I'm calling the shots now. And the first thing Morning routine, evening routine. For those of you that weren't here 15 minutes ago, you missed that. Morning routine and evening routine. That's what you want to do. Now, and by the way, I'll post this live, the full thing on my YouTube channel for those of you that missed the beginning. All right, so that's the fourth dimension. Now, the third dimension, as I said, is a dimension of mind. That is the substance. We live in a mental universe. That is the substance of our three-dimensional existence is mind, okay? The fourth dimension is above mind. The fourth dimension is the dimension of source. From the fourth dimension, you look around, there's no limitations, just blue sky in all directions. Whatever plan you put in place for yourself, no one can stop because no one's playing at the fourth dimension except you. You can make any changes you want. This is important to understand. From the fourth dimension, you can change anything you want about yourself. You can't use the fourth dimension to change your wife or your kids or politics or anything. You have no control over that. You have 1,000% control over yourself. You can make yourself healthier, happier, more cheerful, more optimistic. You can change anything about yourself with no limit. You could teach yourself to play the guitar. You could teach yourself to speak Latin. You could teach yourself to ascend the fifth, sixth, and seventh dimension. You can do anything you want to yourself. You have unlimited power. And in the fourth dimension, when you use these tools that I'm talking about, the abundance blueprint, the thought matrix, when you lay these tools down in the fourth dimension, the full power of source goes right through that thought matrix and right into your being. You have the full power of source at your disposal to change anything about yourself. The full power of source. Most people are never in the fourth dimension. They don't understand how powerful they are to make changes. They're relying on other people to tell them what to do. They're relying on books and things. I should think this, I should think that. They're not in control. They're not sovereign. In the fourth dimension, you're a sovereign being with infinite powers of creation, infinite powers of source. But the rule is you can only use source to control yourself. And every time you try to convince somebody or fix somebody or say, why this, why that? How come you do it this way? Change the way you are. No, every time you do that, you're dragging yourself back down into the third dimension, because you're concerned with something outside yourself. The fourth dimension is a place that exists. We already are a fourth dimensional being. It's a place that exists to change yourself, to be sovereign in your own being. And the fourth dimension is very much like a waiting room, almost like a purgatory. That's a loaded word. I don't really like using it because it's a Roman word. It means cleansing. It's almost like a waiting room, the fourth dimension. You have all the power of source, but it's not doing anything. Source isn't going to do anything until you direct it. And that's the point of the thought matrix from the book, The Cycle of Mind. And that's the point of the abundance blueprint, to direct the power of source through your intentional planning. Here's the point. If you want to ascend fourth, fifth dimension and above, you have to approach this systematically. You can't just say, oh, I'm a spiritual being. I accept things. I surrender to the universe. You're not doing anything. You have to approach it systematically. And all you need to do to be systematic is have a simple morning routine and a simple evening routine. If you don't have those things, you're not on a spiritual path. You're all over the place. Whatever I think about today is what I think about. You have to approach your ascension systematically. Very important to understand. Now we're in the fourth dimension. Now, if you're ready, we're going to do a fifth dimensional ascension. But before I'll repeat, the third dimension is the dimension of mind. The fourth dimension is the dimension of unlimited source, where you actually are source and you control it. You can direct it through drawing little pictures, the thought matrix, the abundance blueprint that I describe in this book. Links in the profile. You're going to use these tools to direct the full power of source into your own being and change yourself. Now, The fifth dimension is a dimension of light. This is important to understand. The fifth dimension has nothing whatsoever to do with the third dimension. The fourth dimension is like a stopping point. It's a way to project your consciousness and your intention down into the third dimension. And the fourth dimension is a platform to rise up to the fifth dimension. Once you're in the fifth dimension, that's an experiential place. That's not a place where you do work. That's just a place where you bliss out and experience light. Let's do that now. You're above the clouds, around you is blue sky, and above you is this beautiful light. And you can feel from the fourth dimension that light flowing through you. You can feel the power of source. You can feel the full light of the universe powering through you. And now, as you rise closer to that light, or as that light descends and you start to get into the periphery of the light, I want you to allow that light to penetrate your being. Allow the light to descend into your being, vibrating every cell in your body. Each cell now able to hold more and more and more light in your cellular structure. Feel that light. You are perfectly balanced. Feel the light. Feel it warming you, filling you. Every space in your body is now light. Even the cells, the atoms themselves are nothing more than spinning electrons. You are light. Now you're feeling that light body. And as you bask in this light, I want you to do this. Take that three-dimensional mask off, all the roles you've been playing, all the thoughts, all that energy you're wasting, and throw it away and feel the light that's already inside you. Take this shell, this three-dimensional shell that you're wearing, just take it off and throw it away. And the light just bursts. Oh, man. Oh, out limit. Just feel all of that light. You are a being of light. And now the real secret of the fifth dimension. Fifth dimensional ascension is not a personal activity. Yes, you're the one that has to wake up in the morning. You're the one that has to do the meditation. You're the one. Yes, it is a personal activity, but you're not doing it for yourself. Oh, okay. You are doing it for yourself because you're going to be much healthier, much happier, much more successful, much more at peace. Yes, you're doing it for you, but you're not doing it for yourself. Every kind act, every light consciousness meditation, every kind word, every generous act, every thoughtful thing you do, every time you do deep breathing and make yourself healthier. Every time you become more like the light, you're creating a pathway that other people can follow. You're ascending so that other people can ascend. There's nothing to do there by yourself except bliss out. The whole point is you're doing the work to create a template, a ladder, a path that now everyone else can ascend. You're the path shower. You're the wayfinder. You're cutting your way through the jungle so that other people can understand how to ascend to the fifth dimension. And I want you to imagine now around the earth, this beautiful web of light. You are a point of light in that web. Breathe deeply and feel your own light pulsating, becoming brighter and brighter. And as you become brighter, the web of humanity becomes brighter. And now imagine the 200 people, beautiful souls, all feeling and basking in the light, kindness, generosity, compassion, thoughtfulness, gratitude, health, helping other people, all of us working together, 200 people working together to amplify the light of humanity. And now picture the millions of people around the globe who are also with us, not with us today, but with us in light. That's what we're doing this for. You're not ascending to escape the third dimension, you're ascending to help humanity ascend. It is humanity that needs to ascend to the fifth dimension, all of us ascending together. That's why we need each other. I want you to feel this web of light. Link your arms with every other person in this web. Link your arms and feel their vibration. Feel it in your skin, feel it in your muscles, feel it in your cells. And that's the full experience of light. That's the full experience of the fifth dimension. And the more you do this, you're opening a conduit to fifth dimensional experience. You're just cracking the door open. The more you open the conduit, the more light you're able to anchor in your being, the more wisdom you can anchor, the more knowledge and experience you can anchor in your cellular structure. That's what we're doing here. You're just cracking the door open to allow more light in. And the more light you allow in, the more light you become, the more you light up this web. The key to fifth dimensional ascension, there are three keys. Number one is balance. If your third dimensional life is emotional and out of balance, and I can't let go of my trauma, the politics, I'm all upset, texting. If your third dimension life is out of balance, there's no fifth dimension for you because it requires balance. That's why we balance our lives in the fourth dimension. Use the fourth dimension to balance your life. The second aspect, so the first aspect of fifth dimensional ascension, if you're going to do this work seriously and systematically, the first aspect of ascension is balance. The second aspect is to become heart-centered. Heart-centered means, just let all the talking go. Let all the convincing and fixing and worrying, let it all go and just let things flow. Be more accepting of the universe. Be more accepting of the energy that's coming your way. Allow other people to go on their journey without trying to spend all your energy trying to fix them and change them. Let people be. Let the universe be. Let your kids be. They're kids. Let them just be their kids. You come to balance. Heart centered. That's the second element of fifth dimensional ascension. And the third element that everybody misses, which you now understand, is surrendering to unity consciousness. You have to surrender your own fears, your own worry about yourself and what you have and where am I going? Am I going to make it? I'm worried. I don't want to be in the third dimension anymore. I'm afraid. No, you have to surrender to unity consciousness. And if you do those three things, balance, heart centered, and surrendering to unity consciousness, you're opening the doorway to anchor more and more and more light in your body. Let's leave it there. Now, I do want to say one thing because people, when I talk about this, I often get comments. Hold on, I have to prove I'm a human here. Um, I get comments like, how do I want to ascend, but I feel so much compassion for all the people that are suffering in the world, right? I feel so much like it's just like I feel the need to solve people's suffering. I get you and I understand you and I honor that. But here's the thing, don't block your own ascension to help things in the three-dimensional world. Ascend, and then you'll be much more effective in helping people in the three-dimensional world. You're not leaving when you go to the fifth dimension. You're not going anywhere. It's still you. Same car, same bank account, same wife, same job, same everything. It's still you. But now you are in a better place to assist other people. And now, how are you going to assist them? By radiating compassion, by being accepting and heart centered, by being balanced, unity consciousness. You're in a much better position now to help the world than you were trying to help the world from the third dimension. So, for all you people who say, I can't ascend because I'm too busy on this world trying to fix the world, do both. And you'll amaze yourself once you start to bring your inner self to balance. Once you start to just let go of all the heaviness and all that stuff, because it's imaginary. It's the three-dimensional world is optional. It's imaginary, right? Just let it all go. Let the trauma go. Let the past. The more you're able to let go, the more you're able to surrender. The key to fifth dimension is surrendering. The more you're able to surrender, the higher you, the more light you can anchor, and the more you can help people in the third dimension. But if you just help people in the third dimension, you're not ascending. It's like in the airplane when they tell you if the oxygen mask drops, put yours on first, then help your child. Put your mask on first. You do the inner work of ascension. I'm not going to say like they use it as an excuse not to do the work because that's not the kind of people they are. They're really heart-centered people who want to help and want to relieve people of their suffering. So they're not doing it to avoid it, but they don't understand if they would put their oxygen mask on first, if they would ascend, they would bring their own lives into balance. They could get rid of all their three-dimensional imbalances, all the emotion and the trauma and the negativity and the just let it all go. Let your energy flow, become ascended, and then now you're the same person. You still care about all the people, but now you're going to approach it from a more heart-centered place, from an ascended place. You've got much more power. You understand the power of source. It's just much better to live your life, whatever you want to do, to live your life at higher dimensional understanding. And if you don't do that, then you're imbalanced. You're saying, "Well, I don't want to be balanced. I don't have the time for that." Baloney. Do your morning routine and your evening routine. The rest of the day is up to you. It's still going to be crazy, but bring yourself to balance every morning. Bring yourself to balance every night. Start this as a habit. Start to create some flow. See, every time you do something kind, every time you do something generous, every time you work to ascend, this is really important. You're activating unseen forces that you're not aware of, forces of light, forces of source, forces of mind. You're activating them. And you don't know how it's going to come back, but I assure you, the more you activate these forces, the more the waves of abundance come back to you. We talked, Mr. MJ there, we talked about that earlier. I'm going to post this live in its entirety up on my YouTube channel, so you'll be able to watch it there. Yes, waves of abundance, waves of abundance, waves of abundance. The more light you let into your body, you're activating unseen forces, and boom. And by the way, on those days when you feel uncertain, on those days when you feel distorted or disrupted, listen carefully. Just keep doing the work because on the days when you're feeling disruption or confusion or distorted, watch what's happening. Those are just clearing the way for the next boom, the next light and understanding to come into your life. It's hard to see it while you're in the moments or the days of uncertainty, but as soon as that clears out, boom, the next understanding of light comes to you. Yes, and then a few days later, a few weeks later, you're going to go through an uncertainty. I'm not sure. I don't feel right. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm all distorted and all disrupted. Again, it's hard to see it, but boom, that's the platform for the next wave of ascension to come to you. So ascension comes to you in waves. Understanding comes to you in waves. And what creates the wave the wave comes and then it dissipates and you get all confused again and you think you're not doing it right, nothing's going right, but you keep doing the work, keep priming the pump, keep priming the pump, keep priming the pump every day, keep priming that pump, and then boom, it comes when it comes, and it comes however it comes. And you can't demand results, just keep doing the work, priming the pump, and the light will begin to flow in ways that today you don't understand, and tomorrow you're going to say, wow, that's amazing. Somebody asked a question that I wanted to address. Not sure why these comments. What's your take on astral projection? All right. I've looked into astral projection quite a bit, and I'm going to tell you this. Let's look at a near-death experience because that's the best way to understand another way to look at these dimensions. So, in a near-death experience, what happens? You rise above your body. That's your astral body. You rise above your body. It's still you. You still know who you are. You still know who all those people around you are, right? But, and you still see, but you're not part of it, right? You're above it. And then what happens next? You go through some sort of a tunnel. Every non-death, near-death experience, pretty much the same thing. You go through a tunnel, boom, you come out, and there's beautiful light, infinity all around you, lights, colors, sounds you've never heard before. That's the fourth dimension, the dimension of source. Maybe you'll experience the fifth dimension as well, the experience of just light. The creator, the source is right there with you, like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? But then what happens is you go back into your body. Okay. Astral projection is the lowest form of spiritual activity. It is rising yourself from your physical body to your astral body. But everything about astral projection is still third dimensional. You're still seeing, you're just traveling the third dimension without the restrictions of your body. You're seeing other beings, you're seeing other things, right? You know things now that you didn't know, all third dimensional. And so astral projection is a third dimensional activity. In fact, you can go visit someone and like move something on their bed counter and then ask them the next one, hey, did you notice, your alarm clock moved? Yeah, I noticed. How did that? I did that. My astral projection. It's nothing more than learning more about the third dimension. It's not ascension. Because a lot of people say I can astral project and they think they're spiritual. You're just maybe a more finely tuned three-dimensional being. You haven't experienced the fourth dimension. You certainly haven't experienced the fifth dimension in astral projection, and you certainly don't experience the sixth and the seventh dimension. So my opinion of astral projection, thank you for asking that question, is it's a third dimensional activity. It also opens you up to inputs that you may not want, like negative experiences or scary people or beings or things like that that you bump into. I don't want any part of that, nor do I really want to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, set my alarm, and you get yourself into a whole bunch of things which are just three-dimensional things. All your activity should be trying to raise you up to fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh dimensional experience. No, it's not basically dreaming. It's an exploration of the aspects of the third dimension that you don't see or have access to. That's what I think. That's my opinion. Now, I'm sure there are people who do astral projection who will have a totally different experience. But to me, astral projection is nothing more than a third dimensional trick to try to get yourself out of this body and remove some of those limitations and learn more about. And by the way, when everyone's talking about aliens and the Galactic Federation, and they're going to come and they're going to add med beds, again, that's great. But all the aliens are three-dimensional too. They're part of the three-dimensional world. They have physical bodies. They are not ascended, they are ascended beings, but that's what we want to know from the alien. I don't want to know, I don't want to see an alien. I don't want an alien in my room. I want to know what the aliens know so that I can ascend to the fifth and sixth and seventh dimension. I want to learn what they know. I don't need them because they're just physical beings. You don't need me. You need the knowledge and the information that I'm sharing. I don't matter to you, but what matters is what I trigger inside you and how you yourself. See, every time you're focused on the aliens or politics or astral projection or whatever, anything you're focused on is you're missing the whole point. You're projecting your awareness into the third dimension and you're not ascending. Ascension means reversing your light, reversing your awareness to inside, to the person you are on the inside, to the fourth dimensional being that you are, the fifth dimensional being that you are, the sixth and the seventh dimensional being that you are. That's ascension, not texting about astral projection or texting how upset you are about politics or blah, blah, or the aliens. I hope the aliens get here soon and fix us. That's not ascending. That's all third dimensional projection. Look at it this way. I'm looking at a clock behind my computer. There's a clock, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, pointing this way, 12 o'clock, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, inner peace, balance, patience, heart-centered thinking, gratitude, kindness, thoughtfulness, generosity, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh dimension. That's 12 o'clock. The more I keep my mind on 12 o'clock, watch what happens. The closer that reality becomes to me and starts to percolate into my being, and I start to become that reality. Now, the three-dimensional world is at 9 o'clock. Watch what happens. Politics. Oh, the aliens. Oh, when are the aliens coming? Is he part of the Galactic Federation? Oh, my trauma. I'm such a sad. Oh, I'm such a victim. Watch what happens. The more I focus on the third dimension, I become that. That's where all my energy goes, and that's what I become. And look what happens. The third dimension gets closer, and ascension gets further and further away. The only way to ascend is to push the third dimension away and to invite higher dimensions into your being. Merge yourself with light, merge yourself with kindness and generosity, merge yourself with all things that are good. That's how you become, that's how it gets closer. And the closer it gets, as we did with the light consciousness meditation, it begins to percolate into your being and you become more and more like that. Or you become more and more like that. It's a choice. All of us are locked into this. And when people say, "Oh, I can't meditate because blah 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 blah," well, all you're focusing on is your limitations. So you become your limitations. Oh, I can't ascend the fifth dimension because I'm so upset about the people who are suffering and the hunger and the whole thing. You're becoming the suffering. You have to ascend, you have to become that. You don't get what you want. You don't get what you wish for. You don't get what you pray for. You get what you do every day. You get what you pay attention to. You get what you put your mind on. Learn to tune into this channel. That's the purpose of this channel. No paywall, just to put out a wavelength, a consistent wavelength of abundance, of happiness, of ascension, of peace, patience, heart-centered, just to put out a steady wavelength at any time you can just tune into it and you become that wavelength. You want to become this wavelength, right? Not selling anything. That would be third dimensional. You got to buy the book. You got to buy my program, $19 a month, blah, 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 blah. Then I would become that. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm okay. I don't need your money. And as I told you, fifth dimensional ascension is not a personal journey. It's a journey to help others. It's a journey to ascend all of humanity. That's what we're doing here. Hit the like button. Let's get that to over 20,000 likes, please. Thank you for all you folks that have been here for a while. Appreciate it. And all you new folks, thank you for being here. Hopefully you're finding something that is worth your while. Let me say also, obviously a lot of new people have joined. Let me be clear. This ascension journey must be approached systematically. Yes, it's a heart-centered thing. You have to be accepting and surrendering and all that. But at the same time, you have to be consistent and disciplined. And let me simplify what that means for you. A morning routine and an evening routine. Morning and night. Morning and night. If you simply do these two things every day for the next 3 weeks, All of a sudden, it becomes a habit. Your subconscious now has to do a morning routine. It won't let you get out of the house without doing one. And it won't let you go to sleep without doing your evening routine. Now your subconscious becomes your ally. You're spinning that little avatar. You've programmed that little avatar down there in the third dimension to do what you want it to do, not to do what it's always been doing, the self-destructive stuff that it's been doing or latching on to things that are out of balance. You're now programming that third dimensional avatar to raise its own vibration because you are the programmer and you are the avatar. You're both. And the goal, here's the importance of the thought matrix. It's really important that you guys start with this book, The Cycle of Mind. Link is, of course, in the bio. The real goal, the real goal of programming yourself is so that you get yourself onto a new and better autopilot. Because the way we operate on autopilot. We do the same things over and over again. So now let's get ourselves into healthier routines. So we do the same things over and over again that are making us healthier, like deep breathing would be the best example. Become a deep breather. Make that a habit so that for the rest of your life, you're always going to be able to pull in more oxygen and chi and prana from the air and raise your vibratory rate. So you want to program the avatar the way you want that avatar to live. See, if you want to be happier, let's say you want to be happier, right? This person isn't happy because he obviously doesn't have happiness because he wants to be happier. You don't just snap your fingers. It's a process. And you have to program yourself to be more generous, to be kinder, to see the good things in life, to be more grateful. Ooh, I had a really bad day. Ooh, I had another bad day. But that's okay. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Gratitude, kindness, patience. And all of a sudden, over time, you've become a happier person. You don't wish yourself into happiness. You become happier. You don't wish to be ascended. You become ascended through the process. That's why you must approach this work with discipline and self-reliance, systematically, doing the same things over and over and over again, sprinkling in a few new positive habits every day, every week, every month, until 2 or 3 years from now, you're nowhere near the person you were before. You've become different. You did that every day. You did the disciplined, systematic work every day to become this person. See, you're dealing every time you take an action, even every time you have a thought, every time you have an intention, every time you create a habit, every time you repeat a habit, you're moving, shifting unseen forces. You don't see what's happening, but these forces are being disrupted behind the scenes, and it's these patterns that you're creating that become your life. So by forming new patterns, morning, night, pounding it down, boom, 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 like riding a bicycle. Oh, I don't want to do a morning routine. Oh, I don't want to do an evening routine. Oh, I forgot to do my morning routine. Oh, I don't feel like, oh, it's like pedaling a bicycle. And then all of a sudden, if you push through that and you do it systematically with self-discipline, all of a sudden the morning routine and the evening routine become, you go with the flow. You're now working with the forces of the universe. And what's happening, you don't see it, but you're creating a pattern in source and mind that's now becoming your reality. You don't see it, but you're moving unseen forces. Everything you do is manipulating unseen forces. That's why if you don't have a morning routine and an evening routine, I don't mean this as disrespect to anybody, you're not on a spiritual journey because your days are just untethered. They're all over the place. Oh, I'm happy. The light of the universe is in me. But you're not disciplined. So you're just going up and down and up and down. You have to anchor yourself every morning and every night with a morning routine and an evening routine. What's the morning routine? Keep it simple. Make it success. Make yourself successful. Make it easy to succeed. 3 deep breaths every morning. Stretching and energy massage. Massage your face, your scalp, your neck. Massage your body. That's the second thing. And then meditate. And then do it again at night. 3 deep breaths, stretching and self-massage, and meditate. If you don't anchor yourself, you're not doing anything. You think you're doing something, but you're not creating any patterns. And the whole point of living in this world is to create patterns because those patterns become your reality. The patterns you have now are your reality. And all of us has come into this stable comfort zone where we just do the same things over and over again. See, this person with this comfort zone is not going to ascend to fifth dimension. They're just going to stay in this comfort zone. In order to ascend to the fifth dimension, you have to disrupt yourself, which is not fun, not pleasant, takes discipline, takes systematic approach. You need a coach, and I'll be your coach. You need a coach so that you can get out of your comfort zone and then start to create new patterns. Now, that person is starting to ascend. This person that's in this comfort zone that just goes through the same things every day, reads the same books every day, thinks the same things, says the same things, that person is not ascending. The ascended person has to be a self-disruptor. This is why teachers of enlightenment would only work with one or two or three students, because it's not just stick your toe in it, go to the live, ooh, that was good, and then you go off on your own. As a guru, he would have control over his students and he would tell them what to do. He would tell them, okay, now we're going to do our morning routine. Now we're going to do our evening routine. Hey, here's an idea. Let's do some deep breathing in the middle. Oh, let's do our fifth and sixth and seventh dimension. The coach can create new habits in you. Even though you may not want to do them, you do them because the coach is telling you to do them. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you've got a whole new set of habits. Your reality is different. You're able to open yourself to higher experiences, and you're anchoring more light, more wisdom, more kindness, more abundance. You're anchoring it literally in your physical body. That's ascension. And it has to be approached systematically. It's not like I call them unicorn people, unicorns and fairies. Ooh, my spirit guides told me to do this. My spirit guide, blah, 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 blah. They're not actually doing anything, right? You have to do something. You have to make yourself healthier. You can't get healthier by wishing to be healthier or praying to be healthier or I deserve to be healthier. You actually have to start doing it a little bit every day, a little bit more every day, a little bit more the next day, next day, next day. Weeks from now, months from now, you look back and you say, I'm a whole lot healthier than I was. But it didn't just happen because you wished it to happen. It happened because you did the work. Systematically, day by day, you're instilling new habits into yourself. What are these new habits? Begin at the beginning. For those of you that are just starting the journey, here's the beginning. A morning routine and an evening routine. 3 things in the morning routine. Number 1, deep breathing. Number 2, stretching and energy massage. And number 3, meditation. Evening routine. 3 deep breaths every morning, stretch and energy massage, and meditation. Anchor yourself every morning, anchor yourself every night. If you think you're on a spiritual journey and you're not doing every morning and every night, then you're untethered. You're out of balance. You've got to bring your life into balance. The only way you'll experience fifth dimensional ascension is by bringing your 3-dimensional life, all aspects, into balance. And we have the tools now that we understand the 4th dimension. We have 4th dimensional tools that we can use. Because here you're in the 4th dimension and you're saying, let's use generosity as an example. I'm in the 4th dimension. I told you one of the things you do in the 4th dimension is you establish your values and your principles in the 4th dimension. So now I'm going to be a more generous person. Generosity, generosity, generosity. And this is my 4th dimensional thing. And now I'm going to write it down in my journal. I'm going to write it down in my thought matrix. Read the book to understand what the thought matrix is. Generosity is now part of my thought matrix. So now I lose my 4th dimensional consciousness, which you're going to do. And boop, I'm back into 3D. I'm out of balance. The world is coming at me. But now I have my thought matrix. I have a compass that I can look at and say, generosity, generosity. Even though I'm in imbalanced 3D, I now have this word generosity. And what happens over time, if you repeat that, all of a sudden your subconscious is going to find all types of opportunities to be more generous. You're going to be at a restaurant and here comes the bill and you leave a tip, 15%, $2.25. And then you put $2.25, you hand back the thing, and then you go, man, I missed the opportunity to be generous. I should have given that girl $3. I should have given her $4, right? Next time you go to the thing, you might miss the opportunity again, but generosity, generosity, generosity. Keep repeating it. Eventually, the 3rd or 4th or 5th time, you're going to get that check and you're going to fill it in. Oh, $2.25, $3. Boop, hit submit. I did a generous thing. You didn't just do a generous thing, you made yourself do a generous thing. You programmed yourself to do a generous thing. This ascension journey has to be systematic, planned, and organized. It's virtually impossible to do it yourself because you're so untethered. You need a coach to make sure that you're anchoring yourself and the coach to give you the next steps in the journey. Now, coaching this type of ascension, I've come to the conclusion, is absolutely impossible because everyone's on a different journey. Everyone's starting at a different point. Everyone's off there like a bunch of cats doing their own thing. I can only work with a small group of people. That's the reason, no paywall, I'm not leading up to anything here. That's the reason I started my Discord group so that I could talk with people one on one. See, when people ask me, what do I do about, trauma in the past? The first question I ask back is, I ask back, what do you expect me to tell you? Like, how would you like me to, what would be the best way I could answer your question? Well, I want you to tell me how to cope with the trauma. And how do you think I can tell you to cope with the trauma? And all of a sudden, you ask them enough questions, and all of a sudden, they realize they themselves have to let go of their own trauma. You could talk to a therapist for the next 20 years about your trauma. And now you're still clinging on to it. It's like you're holding on to it like it's the most important thing in your life, and you become the trauma. What do you want me to do? You want me to listen to you for 20 minutes about how bad your childhood was? And first of all, it doesn't help me. And second of all, how does it help you? Because all you're doing is digging into it. Let go of it. Let go of everything. I know it doesn't sound like it's possible, but this person is not going to ascend. You have to let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. And you don't let go in one day. It's a process. You have to unpack your subconscious every day, every week, every month, every year. Ascension is an event. It's not a snap your fingers event. It's an unfolding. You've opened yourself up to fifth dimensional ascension. Now you're going to unfold into that experience. You don't become that. You experience it, but you open yourself up and you rise towards it. And each day, each week, each month is a new burst of understanding. That's why you can't coach this in a group or like with 1,000 people because it's your understanding. It's your journey. You're the one that has to unpack your subconscious. I can't, I got enough issues with my own subconscious that I'm still trying to unpack and unwind, right? There's endless layers to unpack. The journey itself is the ascension. There's no point at which you're ascended. There's no point at which you're balanced. There's no point at which you're healthy. It's a constant journey. And my favorite saying was, I'm feeling super healthy, or I'm feeling my energy flow, or I'm feeling super duper enlightened. Ooh, I see the whole thing. I see the big picture. I always say to myself, this is only day one. This is just the platform from which I'm going to continue to ascend. I'm going to continue to expand my understanding. I'm going to continue to open up more and more to fifth dimensional experiences. It's not, well, that's it. I said what I had to say. Deirdre, I don't know why they keep blocking your comments. It's such a nice comment. Da, da, da. I have an announcement that I want to make that will interest some of you, maybe not all of you. If anybody is a parent, I started a group last Sunday, and it was really pretty eye-opening for me and for the parents, a parents workshop every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, live on TikTok. No paywall. All you got to do is follow me, be notified when I go live. And Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, put it on your calendar. If you're a parent, you'll want to be there. How to go from like chaos in your home to a more peaceful, balanced wavelength in your home. How to bring, and how are you going to get balanced, right? Well, your kids are kids. They're going to do stuff. But every time they do stuff, you get triggered, and now the whole thing becomes chaotic. So the wavelength in your home is very chaotic. What you want to do is, being the adult, don't worry about your kids, bring yourself into balance. And over time, you'll start to establish a more peaceful and balanced wavelength in your home. That's the goal. And this stability, this peace, opens up new lines of communication with your children. We'll do fourth dimensional exercises so you can see your children's lives, not just what they are today and the pain in the ass they are today. You start to see what's going to happen to them in the future, start to look at their whole future. And now you can start to plant seeds in their life today that are going to change the trajectory of their lives, make their lives healthier, happier, more abundant, more relaxed, more in tune, more authentic. So you can start to see. It's funny. The firstborn count as a parent. In many ways, it does. And I would go there. Yeah, Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's really easy. It's live on TikTok. There's no paywalls. So that's my announcement for parents. And the more balance you bring, the more you open the lines of communication, the more you start to see the future from the fourth dimension, the more you start to see your children's future, the more you can assure their success. And their success, not entirely, but majority of their success revolves around the education and the learning and the literacy and the critical thinking skills that you're inculcating in them now so that they become literate, critical thinkers, lifelong learners in the future. And the problem is that most parents of young people today were not read books to when they were kids. They don't hold books in their hands anymore, like my generation. They read things on Kindle, so they're not really readers in the sense. Um, and you want to, so you have to, again, if I'm talking about literacy and critical thinking and education for your children, you yourself have to bring yourself up to a level of literacy and reading and critical thinking. I don't mean that as any negative slight or insult, but we just don't read books anymore the way we used to. We don't hold, see all the books on my shelf. I'll go back to those books. See this book here, I recommend that everybody start with this book, The Cycle of Mind. This will start to help bring your life into balance. The Cycle of Mind, links in the profile. But here's why I suggest you get it as a physical book, not as Kindle. And I'm actually thinking of just getting rid of it as Kindle. See, when you buy a Kindle, I make more money, right? When you download it as a Kindle, I actually make more money. But it's not good for you to read this book as a Kindle. This is a book that has to sit in your hands. You got to get a pencil, underline it, read it, write it in your journal, dig into this book for 3 or 4 weeks, immerse this book into your subconscious, become this book, because you're going to lose track. You're going to lose touch with all this ascension stuff. You're going to go back and forget about it. But 2 years later, you'll find this book on your shelf. You'll look back and you'll see all your underlinings. You'll go back to your journal and read it again. The book becomes part of you. It's really important that we get books into children's hands, that we start with you and get books into your hands, and that you learn how to underline them and write in the margins and journal about them and doodle and imagine, because that's how you learn things. We've lost that art and we cannot lose it for another minute. There are very, very strong forces that are pushing our education system away from literacy, away from critical thinking. So each family, each parent has to light a candle in their own house, has to illuminate their own house with reading and literacy and critical thinking. And if you don't do this, your children are not going to be literate in the sense of ideas. They may be able to recognize words and do basic math, but they're not literate in ideas. They're not literate in critical thinking. We want kids that can speak, not text. We want kids that can learn, not watch. We want kids that can relate to each other, not emojis. We need kids that can look each other in the eye and learn how to be an adult. That's what this parent workshop is about. It's about the kids, but it's about you, because you can't give your kids a balanced life until you become balanced yourself. Link in the profile. It's everything you need to be in touch with me is in the link tree in the profile. Well, that was a lot. That was even longer than I was thinking I was going to be on this morning. I will be on much later tonight. I'm going somewhere at like 6 o'clock to like 8 or 9, but probably at 10 or 11 Eastern. I do want to come back on. Again, this channel, if you're not following, here's a last chance. Go ahead and follow, please. Go ahead and leave a comment so this thing gets boosted and our rankings get boosted. Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate all that. I want to tell you a story about those gifts, right? When I first started in TikTok, I'm an old guy. I don't understand TikTok. And like people were giving a gift, a cowboy hat and a mustache. And I said, this is the stupidest thing. Don't give me any gift. I don't, like, I don't want it. Like, I didn't understand it. And then slowly I started to read more about TikTok and understand and have more experience. And I realized that these gifts, these likes, these, tapping on the screen, these are expressions of your energy. These are expressions of sharing. Yes, I'm wide open to it. I feel it. I feel that energy. I want that energy and I want to give that energy back to you. Give me gifts, like, share, follow, all that stuff. Yes, I love it. Thank you for expressing that. And there you go. Thank you for expressing that energy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm open to it. I receive it and I love it and I understand it now. It's an exchange of energy. It's an exchange of flow. And I had been kind of blocking that off with no. I love it. I love it now. Thank you so much. Thank you all. If again, last chance to follow. If you haven't been following, I'm going to come on again tonight. Probably do that for, I don't know what else I can do, but raise people to the fourth and fifth dimensional thinking, ascend you. I'm going to try to keep ascending you as much as I can and be that wavelength that you can constantly tune into to rise up so that we're rising up, all going in the same direction, not dispersing our energy back down into the three-dimensional world. I don't like that. So thank you so much. Again, thank you for reminding me. A big announcement Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for parents and grandparents. Anybody that wants to be a better parent, anyone that wants to lock in a more balanced ascended wavelength in their home, that give their kids a more stable platform to allow them to just enjoy their childhood, express themselves, become the most beautiful person they can be. Join this parents workshop Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, no paywall. It's live here on TikTok and Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for the live. I feel it. Let's keep ascending, keep acknowledging in our meditations that everyone is ascending together. We're all doing this together. We're all part of a beautiful collective. Again, last chance to follow. I'm going to take off for now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. And if you have any more questions, go to the Discord group. It's in my profile. I spend all day on Discord. I talk to people one-on-one on Discord. So if you want to, everything you need to connect with me is up in the profile. Let's leave it like that. If you want to connect with me, if you want more of this, if you want to go to my YouTube channel, it's all in the profile. So I'll see you guys soon. And have a blessed day, everybody. Stay balanced. I want that. Not interested. I have enough. As long as they don't cut my Social Security, we're okay. And I also have people that donate to me, which is beautiful, and I accept that.